we not going on a okay. And we are live. Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Lunch Debates on a very special occasion. I am your fellow co-host Dibo, not along with my other fellow co-host Matt today. Unfortunately, he'll be back this week for our NBA playoffs episode. But alongside me, we have our guest, our football expert, Waney, in the
Big
building,
Waney,
man.
Lakers in nine. Lakers in nine. Taking the Lakers
Lakers
in
and
nine, bro. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, now, Danny, I would ask about the Lakers Nuggets series, hence your uh, title name at the bottom. But because I have the kindness on my heart, and because you took the time out of your day to take a part in this special episode, I'm not gonna do that to you. So, hey, man,
Appreciate that.
got the hook. Yeah, got the hook. Um, Tough series so far. Obviously, Murray hit the game winner last night. Crazy game,
I don't know
but
what you're talking about.
we're not gonna talk about hoops for now.
I don't know
Obviously,
what you're talking about.
nah, nah. I don't blame you at all. So we are we are in draft season. 2 days prior to the first round of the 2024 NFL draft. So, like we did last year, Lunch and Debates, we are having our own official NFL mock draft. First round only. I'm excited, man. Very excited.
I am too. I think I think this draft is a very talented class and a very deep class in a lot of like areas. It's very rare that you see a class has potentially five quarterbacks that could go in the first round, five wide receivers that can go in the first round,
Five
four,
tackles taken to the
five
four in the first round as well.
five tackles, and then you've got five corner, maybe not five, maybe about four corners that can go in the first round as well. So it's a very deep class in a lot of positions of gigantic need at the probably the most important positions in the NFL. Quarterback, and then wide receiver, and then DB and tackle. Um, so this is one of the more important classes that we'll see this decade, I think. So it's paramount that a lot of
Mhm.
teams get their pick right in the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. Absolutely, man. I can't wait, man. Draft season is always my favorite part of the year, just to see all the evaluations for all the high end talent, looking at all the sleepers, and just the whole process of getting excited, just seeing all these teams pick your favorite players out of college and hopefully watch them shine at the next level. And also for all of the fan reactions at the draft site, we always love those. We always love those, man.
Goodell getting
I
booed is it's a good moment. It's a good moment.
Yeah,
It was a great moment.
especially that as well. I remember the 2019, yeah, the 2019 draft when Clellan Farrell was picked within the top 10, and there's just seeing Raiders fans get absolutely pissed. It was a sight to behold.
Yeah,
Giants fans too when they picked Daniel Jones. That
they
that
picked
was that
Daniel
was
Jones, and
amazing.
not a single Giants fan was excited about that. So
Nope. Hey, look at it now. 5 years later. Hey
yeah,
man,
they still
life
hate him.
happens funny ways. Yeah, for sure. Linsanity run be damned. All right, but let's get into the actual drafting part of this episode. Obviously, like last year, me and Danny will take turns now with 16 picks each, that we can choose from throughout this first round compared to last year where there was one lesser first round pick because of the Dolphins tampering issue going on. Hey, so
Shout
it'll
out the
be completely
Dolphins.
even. Let me pull up the draft here compared to last year. With this year, I'm going to show the draft board from time to time, just so you can fully see our faces and the quality won't be as blurry as it was last year. So, hey, we're moving up with quality production, which is what we always like. Oh, yo, you there? Dang, I got left. All right, one more. Pulling up the screen once again.
Apologies for that. My dog is scared of the little thunderstorm.
All good, brother. All good. We can just
100% gonna happen
obviously
again.
that's all right. Obviously, we can just cut off like any extra footage that we don't need
Yeah.
with post production. I'm not gonna add this to the actual episode anyway. But yes, again, one more look at the draft board, and without further ado, let's get into it. Starting with the Chicago Bears with the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Danny, who are you picking?
I think this is a pretty much a no-brainer. Quarterback JJ McCarthy out of Michigan is going to be the number one overall pick. Um,
JJ McCarthy. Ooh.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely not. I'm trolling. It's gonna be Caleb Williams. Um, it would be Caleb Williams in like every single draft for the past 5-ish years. Maybe not Trevor Lawrence's draft class, but
Mm.
as a player, there's really nothing he can't do. I would probably compare him to Kyler Murray. I don't think the Mahomes comparison is the best. I see a lot more Kyler
No,
Murray.
no, me
Um,
neither. It's not. It's not great.
uh, he's a very good off-platform thrower, and I think that there's a narrative that he can't stand in the pocket and throw. It's more so that his teammates were never really open on the first throw, so he kind of had to move around and make something happen. But
Yeah, I agree.
he's I mean, he's one of the best college football players of the past decade. Um, I think that his game is going to translate pretty well. Um,
Mm,
People don't like his character, which I'm not. I don't care. I mean, I don't think he does anything bad in terms of character. All he does is like just the other day he said I was upset I wasn't named the starter, and people were like, "Oh, he's so cocky." I don't think anybody would be happy if they're not named the starter. So
mm,
it's just a bunch of things. The people don't like that he paints his nails and all that stuff. I think it doesn't really matter too much. At the end of the day, he's a very good football player. You can't predict who's going to be a locker room cancer or not, especially when there has never been any type of rumor of him being a locker room cancer at USC or Oklahoma.
nope.
So I would I would happily take Caleb Williams from the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I mean it's the consensus pick for like what, a year now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's a no brainer. Look, I do not care that he paints his nails. I do not care that he cries to his mama on the sideline. The man is a damn good quarterback. While I don't think he's on a generational level as a talent compared to past prospects like a Trevor Lawrence or an Andrew Luck, back in their day, I
yeah.
still think he has enough tangibles. And from what we all saw from his tape at both USC and Oklahoma, he will be a very high level quarterback coming into this league from the very beginning. So I have no issues with Caleb Williams at all.
And one thing people make it, I feel like one thing that gets slept on is um, he's a very good runner with the football. Like if you want to know how good of a runner he is, just look at his very first play. ever in college football on 4th and 1 against Texas.
Mm,
It's a 50-plus yard house call. All right, he's a very good runner. Is he the runner that Justin Fields was or is? Probably not, but I mean, there's a drop off there, but there's such a major upgrade in terms of throwing that you have to be. If you're a Bears fan, you have to be ecstatic about this pick.
mm, absolutely, for sure. All right, moving on to the second overall pick, which it will be my turn. I'm going with another quarterback, Drake May out of North Carolina.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Good
it
pick.
seems like for sure, absolutely. It seems like the narrative has changed from May at 2 to Jaden Williams as of recently. I don't really know if it's smoke, like a smoke screen, or it being for real. It seems like it's leaning towards it being for real, according to all of the betting sites. But in my eyes, Drake May is still my QB2 compared to Jaden Daniels in this class. While I believe Jaden Daniels he has much higher upside as a rush compared to Drake May. Drake May, I think he is still the better prospect while being younger as well, which gives him more room to develop and grow at the pro level. So I think picking May instead of Jaden Daniels at 2 for Washington, it's a much better move.
I agree. I mean, I also like Jaden Daniels' game, but I think
Mm,
Drake May's just I think he's a more talented thrower. I think that they both have a great deep ball, but in terms of all three levels, I think Drake May has him beat. And it's tough when you hear all the smoke screening. You don't know if it is smoke, if it's not smoke. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Jaden Daniels because again, I guess we're gonna keep talking about Kyler Murray, but Cliff Kingsbury is the Commanders' OC. Jaden Daniels is a similar type of runner or player as Kyler Murray, but I would still take Drake May. I think the potential is much higher with him.
absolutely. And obviously, there's issues with Drake May. He's still raw as a prospect, especially
Yeah.
with his footwork, but you can at least have more time with him to adjust to the pro level and make him retool his game compared to AJ and Daniels, who's much older than Drake May. So that's one of the other main reasons why I decided to go with Drake May here with the spot.
Completely agree.
All right. Pick three, the New England Patriots with first year head coach Gerard Mayo in their new era. Danny, who you got?
There's a lot of smoke around this one as well with JJ McCarthy as a name that I've been seeing a lot. I don't think quarterback is the way that the Patriots need to go. And I think they'd be doing a disservice to any of the quarterbacks if they picked one this early. I mean, potentially trading back into the first round might be a good idea for them. They have
Mm,
no outside threat at all. Go and get the best one available. There's no reason to overthink this. Marvin Harrison Jr. should be a Patriot. He's, in my opinion, the best player in this class, and he should be the third overall pick. Obviously, I think he's the best player, but situation and everything like that is going to make him slip to three, where the Patriots should sprint to the podium and pick him. You can you can get any quarterback in the NFL to play for the Patriots right now, and they would all be horrible. There's no threat outside at all. Get Marvin Harrison. Find your answer at quarterback later.
mm,
If I want to say if Drake May is there at three, take Drake May.
mm.
If he's not, take Marvin Harrison. It's not that hard.
Okay, I have the Patriots depth chart pulled up right now. Their wide receiver depth chart is as follows: Bo Douglas in the slot, and then their two outside receivers are KJ Osborne, who they just signed in free agency, Kenny Bourne, And their other wide receivers currently right now are Jalen Reagor, Tyquan Thornton, Juju, and Keyshawn Boot.
Yeah, there's like 1.5 NFL players that you listed.
And what's the 1.5?
Demario Douglas and KJ Osborne is the half.
Damn, no
He's
Kenny
all right.
Moore?
He's all right. KJ Osborne is good. So it's two. I'd say two.
Yeah, sure. But at the same time, if you're going into this upcoming season with those three guys you mentioned as your top that yeah, excuse me, your top
You
three
have
wide
no
receivers,
chance.
it's horrible. And I do agree with you with your thought process behind getting Maserati Marv at 3 here. One of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen in recent memory. Complete wide receiver, everything you want out of an elite outside wideout, you got with him as well. I don't get why people are criticizing his production at OSU, especially when he had a quarterback like Kyle McCord throwing him the ball last year. He did what he could, honestly. I watched a lot of OSU ball last year. Kyle McCord is one of the worst quarterbacks, and I'm sorry, he was one of the worst QBs I've ever seen like play for a top collegiate school in like
Yeah,
recent memory. So
that's
for him to
fair.
still be as productive, given elite production with poor QB play, come on,
And
man,
he was
it's a
hurt.
no
He was
brainer
hurt
here.
a lot of the year
Yeah,
as
he was
well.
hurt too. Yeah, so like he's not a top pick. He's not a consensus top pick because like his dad was a Hall of Famer. Like, no, he's really good at football. So you
Yeah,
pick him at 3.
100%.
Easily, easily. Okay, moving to number 4. My turn. Arizona. The Cardinals are up next. I am going with Malik Neighbors out of LSU for that 4th spot. There we go. Yeah, man, just plain simple. The Cardinals, they need wideouts badly. Obviously, they lost Hollywood Brown this offseason. He went to KC. Their current wide receiver core right now consists of what? Michael Wilson, who I am high on, but he's not a wide receiver one, nor I expect him to be. Greg Dorsch, like it's just on paper right now. It's one of the worst wide receiver cores in the entire league, if not the worst. They're going band for band with New England right now. But again,
Yeah,
you bring in a guy like Malik Neighbors, who I do think he's the consensus wide receiver 2 pick in well wide receiver 2, yeah, in this class. Elite outside threat can beat secondaries over the top. Great electric wide receiver, perfect for a quarterback like Kyler Murray in this spread heavy offense. It's a no brainer for Arizona here in this position.
completely agree. I really like Malik Neighbors' game. I think that he'd be a wide receiver one in last year's draft class, probably the class before that as well. Really, the only class I think he wouldn't be that's recent would be Jamar Chase's class. What was that, 2021?
Yeah, it was 2021.
Yeah, but that's he's a great player. I think that the bullshit about him having character concerns is smoke, or is teams trying to make his value go down so they can get him. Um, he primarily operates in the slot, which is kind of what you want out of your receiver now. That's kind of the way that the NFL is moving. But he
Mhm.
can operate outside and is great hands and is a great route runner. So I think that he's a very good player, and I think that he'd do very well with Kyler Murray.
Absolutely. Fireworks coming out of those two potentially if he were to go to Arizona, man. So great pick for the Cardinals. All right, 5th pick, the LA Chargers. Danny, your turn.
See, I'm thinking about this one, and it's like, the Chargers. It's a lot of conversations. Do they want to trade down? Would they want to trade down in this type of situation? I think they would. If you're let's say a team like the Vikings or a team like the Broncos, even though they just got their franchise quarterback in Zach Wilson, um, if Jaden Daniels is sitting there at 5, would you? I mean, you would call. I think that I don't think the Chargers would trade with the Broncos. They're not doing in the division, so I think it's just the Vikings.
Okay.
For the Vikings, you at least got to make the call, right? And they've said, they're trying to make these trades, and I'm thinking, would the Chargers do this? Would they move down 6 spots in a wide receiver class that's very deep?
On a team that desperately needs wide receiver threats badly.
But also the Chargers need a lot too. I mean, just even look at what PFF said. Like they need a lot. They need everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if let's say the Vikings offered them, you know, pick what do they have? Pick 11,
11.
pick 23. Getting that extra first was 2 trade up,
Mm-hmm.
and then giving them a first next year. I think that's something that could get done. And I
So
think that is
pick
something that
11.
could happen.
Right. Mm-hmm. So right now, pick 11, pick 23, and then next year's first rounder from them, you
Yeah,
give it
yeah,
to the Chargers.
yeah. Just go ahead,
Who,
force that shit.
yeah, we're going to force the trade. Thank you,
And
PFF.
then the Minnesota Vikings would go ahead and select Jaden Daniels.
Oh, so not JJ McCarthy.
I don't think they should, but wait, don't draft him yet. I don't think they should, but there's a lot of too much smoke that they like JJ McCarthy to the point
No.
where I think they would like it has to be real at this point, right?
Mhm.
I mean, personally, I don't see how you can take JJ McCarthy over Jaden Daniels, but we're not doing this from our perspective. We're trying to make it a little semi-realistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that it has to be JJ McCarthy then. There's too much smoke. There's too much noise around it. Again, I think Jaden Daniels is the better player and the better prospect, but
Hmm.
who cares what I think? I'm not. I'm not the Vikings GM or head coach.
Got named that's the Vikings GM. Salute to him. Much love to you, my brother, leading this semi rebuild without Kirk Cole at the helm. First time in a long time for the
Yeah,
Vikings. So yeah, but quick question: what are your thoughts on McCarthy as a prospect in general? If you have
I
any.
think people are too either pro McCarthy or negative McCarthy.
Mm,
Is he going to be anything close to the best quarterback in this class? Absolutely not.
no.
Is he a bad player that got carried by an offense? No. Is there somewhere in between? Yeah, he had the best run game. Yeah, but also he can make good throws. He can make big time throws. He has a decent enough arm. He has a live arm, which is important when you're looking at a player. I think he can be a good player in Kevin O'Connell's system, throwing to Justin Jefferson. I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's a bad fit. I think he's honestly based off of where he goes and what type of fit he has is what's going to be his career.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Danny. I believe for McCarthy as a quarterback in this league, I think his absolute ceiling is like a peak Ryan Tannehill during his time with the Titans. Just a quarterback, while not completely trash, very tolerable with his level of play. But when you add the right scheme with his quarterbacking, along with giving him adequate, good enough weapons around him for him to succeed, he'll produce for you. He'll perform. So I do agree with you on that sentiment. If we can get this man, okay, we back.
All
No, you
right.
there?
Yeah.
All right. Next, excuse me. Next pick is kind of interesting right here. My turn. The New York Giants could go quarterback with Jaden Daniels still on the board, but I believe wide receiver is the more realistic pick for them at 6 if they want to go there. And I am going to pick Romo Dunze out of Washington.
I like the move. I like the pick.
Big
I think
Apple, baby.
again, I think this is another situation where if Drake May falls, this seems like the Vikings are really interested in him. Or not the Vikings, the Giants. Seems like they're. I think the Giants are kind of locked in on two players, Malik Neighbors and Drake May, but they're in the worst spot possible because if Marvin Harrison Jr. goes 3 and Drake May goes 2, then they can't get Malik Neighbors. Right. And Romo Dunze is not a bad player, but I do think there is a drop off from Malik Neighbors to Romo Dunze.
Hmm. Yeah, well, I do, again, believe Odunze can be a very productive wide receiver in this league, especially in a Dabo offense, with him being such an effective deep threat, as we obviously saw during his time at UW last year. Again, man, not having to get either Neighbors or May, which no respect to Odunze, but for that team, especially with them being so depleted with high end talent,
Yeah.
it's a shame, man, especially for them last year getting those wins with Tommy DeVito towards the end of the
Mm,
season. And in hindsight, oh, do we
really,
really
really
need
screwed up.
those wins? Do we really need those wins, those more victories, just to have a worse draft pick? I don't think so. So
Yeah.
it was kind of fun though, but
It was cool. It was cool.
yeah. All right, your turn, Danny. The Tennessee Titans at pick 7.
Yeah, the Tennessee Titans seem committed to Will Levis and building him like a real team. So I think that they would go ahead and get him the best tackle in the draft, which is Joe Alt, and beef up that O line, give him a real offense. He's got DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley. And when watching the Titans last year, tackle was really something that they were pretty weak on. Um,
Yeah, Andre Dillard, left tackle, their starter,
Bro
one of
got
the
fried all
worst
year. All
tackles
year.
in the whole league. Probably were one of the worst players overall in the entire league by far. So to go from
100%.
him to a guy like Joe Alt, which from day one he can be a high caliber starting left tackle, it's a massive upgrade, especially when you have a young quarterback in Will Levis.
Yeah. And also, he's got a Hall of Fame level name. I mean, Joe Alt at left tackle, that sounds like a Hall of Famer.
And bro, Pop's playing the league too, man.
Pops played in the league,
KC,
man.
yeah. His name's blanking on me for some reason. John Alt. Excuse me, John Alt. Yeah,
Yo, the Suns are getting
played
shit on.
for.
I just wanted to say that.
What's the score?
81-96, 6 minutes left in the fourth.
81-96.
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough. Yeah, man. Oof. Okay, my turn right now with the Atlanta Falcons at pick 8. Hmm. Ooh. Need to beef up their D line.
Yes.
Need to go. Need a corner as well. Well, I don't think any of the corners, while it's a solid corner class, in my opinion, I don't think any of the corners are going to go top 10 in this year's draft. So we're going to go D line. And while I don't think he's the best edge in this class, he's still going to be a very solid player in this league. And I'm going to pick Dallas Turner out of
Mm.
Alabama.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's fair. I think I can never really say his name right. Latu, I think that's how you say his name, is the best one out of
Latu,
UCLA.
yeah, for sure.
But the injury history is concerning.
Mhm.
So you kind of have to, and I don't think anybody would ever complain about taking a Bama edge rusher.
No, it's it's cash money. It's cash money,
Yeah, it's
man.
like a 90% hit rate, bro.
Like, like, bro, if you get a D line out of Bama, man, a defensive player out of Bama in general, like you can do no wrong, bro.
You probably got a very good player. You probably got a very good
Yeah,
player.
for sure. Yeah, man. And Dallas Turner is one of those guys as well. Day one, he's going to be very solid from the get go, a very safe pick for this Falcons team, who are primed to have a bounce back year and could potentially be a Super Bowl underdog with Kirk Cousins leading the way if he can bounce back from his Achilles injury.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Pick 9, we got Chicago again.
See, with them, all the top wide receivers are gone. I do think this is potentially another trade up spot, being that, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Jaden Daniels still available?
He has to be, yes, he's still here.
Jaden Daniels is still available. Maybe a team like the Broncos, although I don't see Sean Payton mixing well with Jaden Daniels. It's such a hard pick here with Romo Dunze gone. One second, let me let my
Mhm.
dog out.
Always got to take care of the dog, folks. Minor difficulties. Excuse us. There's a little bit of rain outside, some thunderstorms as well. So gotta look out for the dogs out there. So
Always gotta look out for the dogs, but
for
I think
sure.
that I think maybe here they would pick Latu. I think that I wouldn't see them trading down here.
Hmm.
I don't see them saying Brian Thomas is good enough to take in the top 10.
Hmm.
Definitely not Keon Coleman. And so
No,
I think that I think that you just kind of have to go with the second biggest need, which would be an edge rusher alongside Montez Sweat, and I think Latu could fit very well in an Eberflus type system.
absolutely. Sweet. All right, my turn with the New York Jets. Whew. During mock draft season, the start, I initially had a wide receiver like Odunze falling to them at 10, even a tackle. But just how free agency played out with them getting Mike Williams and Tyron Smith, I think they go best player available and get Brock Bowers to upgrade that offense even more, give A-Rod more weapons,
Yeah.
um, give them a better chance at becoming an elite AFC power this season with the limited time window they have under Rodgers. So yeah, we're going with Brock Bowers, man, at pick 10.
I think that's an excellent move, honestly. Now the Chargers picking after they traded down. Again, it's like they still need wide receiver, but none of them are good enough to take at 11. So what do you do? It's a very tough situation for them. You need corner, and I think Terrion Arnold is the best corner available in this class.
Mm,
It's just, would they do that? I think they would do that with the idea that that they can get a guy like, well, actually, they could go tackle, but I don't. You know what? Terrion Arnold. I'm gonna go Terrion Arnold. I
okay.
think that'd be a good pick for them. It's a great fit for them. Um, Knowing that they can get a wide receiver with better value later on in the draft.
Hmm. Need help in that secondary bad. They was getting torched all last year for sure.
All last year, bro. So bad, dog.
Yeah, you bring a guy like Arnold in, was the best corner out of that DB room for Alabama. Works very well in press, aggressive, a dog. Can also tackle very well, so he's gonna be very great in run D. I like the move a lot for the Chargers here at pick 11. Okay, for
Best
me,
team in the AFC West,
the Chargers.
the Broncos.
Oh, it's my fault. Yeah, another AFC West team at pick 12. We got Denver. Okay, I believe the player who I'm gonna take here, while I have him as a second round caliber player, which I don't think he's bad at all, but I just don't think his abilities right now that equates to him being a first round pick. But with how badly the Broncos, as of right now, need help in their QB room, I have to go with Bo Nix in this spot.
Yeah. And it's sad because Jaden Daniels is right there. But,
Hmm.
like,
You
w
don't fit Payne's scheme. He's not.
I just don't think
He,
Sean Payton's gonna do it.
no, sadly, but we going with Bo Nix.
Oh, and then this is cash money right here. This next team that's
Yeah.
picking right here, they're 100% picking Jaden Daniels. There's already the connection with Antonio Pierce and Jaden Daniels, who coached him in high school and or not high school, sorry, at Arizona State.
Hmm.
Or I think actually at both, I'm not sure, but there's the
Yeah,
connection
I think
between
so
the
too. I
2.
do. I think so too. Yes, long history.
Uh, the connection's there. The Raiders need a quarterback. They need a franchise quarterback. I think Jaden Daniels gives them a great shot at it. And if he does not, great right away, they have Gardner Minshew, so he can wait a little bit, right? They have Gardner
Mhm.
Minshew who could get them a few wins, but I think Jaden Daniels is already going to be an immediate upgrade, and I think that he's not a very high floor guy. I'd say his floor is about average, but his ceiling is very high. I think that if
Mm,
he reaches his ceiling, especially with the Raiders with Devontae Adams, it could be a very very special situation going on in Vegas.
mm. I agree with you as well. If he does fall to 13, that's a no-brainer right there.
Over
So,
under, how long will it take for him to get his first DUI as a Raider?
hey man, we wish nothing but the best on the brother's
There's
career.
nothing but the best for
So
Jane Daniels. He's a great player.
we for sure. So we not gonna go that far, man. Raiders stigma implied as well. So
I don't even know
hey,
why we're saying it's going to be Jaden Daniels. It's the Raiders, bro. They'll probably pick some dude we've never heard of.
they gonna pick the guy out of Arizona, Jordan Morgan at tackle. It's, they doing that or pick Kool Aid. All right, my turn at
You've almost
14.
lost the Raiders, Holmes.
Hey, salute to the Raiders for sure. Um, pick 14, we got the New Orleans Saints. I think this one is a no-brainer here, position-wise. They need a tackle, and I am going to pick one out here right now, and that is, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, Talise Fuaga out of Oregon
I think
State.
that's how you say it. I'm not entirely sure.
Yes, I believe so. Trevor Penning, hey, Trevor Penning, my brother, say goodbye, bro.
Get
You're
ready to
done.
learn Chinese.
Ni hao. Yeah, we slime for Waga if he gets drafted here at left tackle, man, and give Derek Carr a great blindside tackle, which he desperately needs as a quarterback, as he is one of the most offensive line dependent quarterbacks in the league. So for the Saints in that position, it's a no brainer to go with him. All right, so Danny had to leave. So sorry. Sorry for the um, apologies for all the errors with this episode, but show must go on. For the remainder of this first round, I'm going to finish this off. Moving with the 15th pick, the Indianapolis Colts. Wide receivers in need as well. DB is also in need. I'm to go with, excuse me, I'm going to go with Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo, putting him alongside their secondary. I honestly think that he can be a very good not wide receiver, a very good corner one in this league with this ability on a team that desperately needs more secondary help. I think that's a perfect fit for him to go to Indy with this pick at 15. All right. Seattle Seahawks at 16. We're going to go with interior. Could go Jackson Powers Johnson, who I really like, but we're going to go a different route. We got here. Nah, we're going to go with Graham Barton out of Duke. Although he's listed as a tackle, he can slide over to the interior, probably at center due to his limited arm length. As they need Seattle, they need interior O line help as well. I think that would be a very good move for him to be in Seattle day one and could potentially start opening day as well for them moving forward. So we're gonna go with Graham Barton at pick 16. mm, Seattle, not Seattle. I just picked Seattle. Jacksonville. Need interior help. Edge, Andy B. Um, I'm gonna go with Jared Verse, putting him alongside Josh Allen as well for a team that desperately needs pass rush, more juice on the outside of Allen. I think Verse would be a great fit in Jacksonville here at 17. Cincinnati at 18. We're going to go with D line in the interior. The top two right here, Johnny Newton, Deshaun Newton, but we're gonna go with Johnny Newton for this, and Brian Murphy. I think either one, if they could play with the Bengals, they'd be a very good fit for them day one. But I'm gonna go with the more all-around prospect, Byron Murphy. I really like him as well. Stand up performance against Washington in the semifinal playoff game. Fantastic player. I think he'll be very productive for them if he were to go to Cincy, especially with the loss of DJ Reader, who went to Detroit this offseason in free agency. All right, pick 19. The Rams could go tackle, could go D line, could also go corner if you want to. But I think we're gonna go on the defensive side. Excuse me. and pick Johnny Newton out of Illinois, being that mauler and not really replacing the greatness of Aaron Donald, but being a nice young replacement to continue his part of his presence on that side of the ball as well for the Rams moving forward. So that would be a phenomenal pickup at 19 there. And then we got the Steelers at pick 20. I would go tackle here for sure. I would for sure go tackle. And what I'm gonna do is pick Amarius Mims out of Georgia, line him up at right tackle, and then move Broderick Jones to the left side, his natural position. I think with his abilities at right tackle and his traits, his athleticism, which from Georgia, that's obviously a given. Steelers need help in that position. I think would be a great fit for them. Or Mahler at pick 20, that's a great value pick right there. Okay, then Miami at 21. Online help, it is a huge need. Also, defensive line and with their pass rush is also a huge need as well. I hope to pronounce his name right. Excuse me if I don't. But we are going to go with Troy Fatuanu from Washington. There, man. Left tackle, if Teron Armstead can't stay healthy, you could slide him there as well. I believe he can also play guard if you need him to. So a little bit of flexibility from him on that end. I think he'll be a solid fit for this Dolphins O line moving forward if he were to be drafted there. Philly with this next pick. Hmm, Linebackers a huge need for that Philly team, but I don't think there's going to be a linebacker drafted in the first round. There shouldn't be a linebacker drafted in the first round, in my opinion. So the realistic decision would go DB. Could you go Nate Wiggins? Could you go Cooper DeJean? Could you go with Kool-Aid? I don't think Kool-Aid would go here. So the most realistic position would probably be we're gonna go with Cooper DeJean. Just off his flexibility. If you want to put him at safety, he can do it. And even if you want to put him at corner with Vic Fangio, you don't have to ask him to play as much man to leave him exposed on the outside. So not having to play press man, playing more zone coverages. I think that would be the most beneficial thing for him moving forward. So in that spot for him in Philly, that wouldn't be a horrible move for Dijon. And then we got the Chargers again here. If I can take this off, thank you. A lot of positions here, but dang, Danny, what? Man, that completely threw me off my rhythm. That threw me off my rhythm. Threw me off. For sure. But show must go on, as we say so in entertainment. And with that, the 23rd pick, we are going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU, giving Herbo a legit threat on the outside. Brian Thomas can burn secondaries over the top. Great frames, 6'3", fantastic height for a wide receiver. very flexible, dynamic as well. On a if he goes to a team that desperately needs juice, that desperately needs energy in the wide receiver position, I think he'd be a great fit in LA with John Harbaugh in his first year at the helm. Next one, Cowboys at 24. Not gonna go with Fashanu. We do need tackle. We very well need tackle here. I'm going to go with J.C. Latham from Bama. They need tackle help, and they have a lot of holes to fill for the Cowboys. But with tackle being their best need, I think J.C. Latham is the best player available for them at this point. Solid pickup for them if they were able to get him. Green Bay at 25. Again, another team that needs tackle help. Hey, thank God, this draft class for these teams. The tackle class is very special. It's very deep, very talented. So in this first round, a lot of teams are going to be happy on that end. And I think the Packers are going to follow suit with this trend, and they're going to get Fashanu out of Penn State, slide him to that left tackle spot. Solid pickup for them there. Tampa Bay, they need a lot. They do need a lot. Could go tackle. No, excuse me, not tackle. Could go interior line, edge as well. Need more juice. Could go corner. Realistically, right now, for them, I'm going to go with Nick Wiggins, who I actually really love. Sure, his frame, he needs to bulk up in order for him to succeed at the pro level. But with how much he had to be impressed man at Clemson during his time there, and with him succeeding and his overall tenacity and his ability to still be active in the right game as a corner, his tackling ability, I think that he can be a very productive potential borderline corner one in this league. So to put him on that Bucks team who do need corner help, that would be a fantastic fit for them moving forward. Next team, the Arizona Cardinals. Quick look at all the picks from this first round so far. Quick scroll down. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Beautiful. We are going to go with interior O line. And with that, we are going to get Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon. Cardinals, gotta protect Kyler Murray. Interior O line is a weakness that they need to address. Why not get the best available interior O line on that in that spot with Jackson Powers Johnson? I think that would be a great fit for them moving forward. Can play well in multiple schemes in the run game, whether it's gap or zone. I think that would be a solid fit for them if he were to go there. Next pick, Buffalo. I'm gonna go with the wide receiver here. They desperately need to address that position, especially with the departure of Stephon Diggs. I'm going to go with Adonai Mitchell. I think with Texas, the critique for him, one of the main critiques is his effort to, well, when he's not being able to get the ball, when he's not targeted, is a huge cause of concern. But you have in Buffalo a quarterback like Josh Allen in a pass dominant scheme on an offense where You need weapons. You need someone to throw the ball to on an every down basis. I think Adonai Mitchell would be a great fit for them. Um, at pick 20, at pick 28, excuse me. Well, as a Chiefs fan, let me let my bias show. Me personally, I want him to fall to 32, but with the Bills needing such, they desperately need a wide receiver in their spot right now. I do think that Adonai Mitchell will be a great fit for them in at pick 28. And then we go to Detroit. Lost Jonah Jackson, so they do need interior help. Could go edge, but also could go corner. Could, Chop Robinson, could I see him going there? I honestly don't. I honestly don't. I really don't. Especially with his injury concerns. So we're gonna go with the safe option, and we're going to pick Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama at 29. Tenacious corner. I think he is a scheme fit with Aaron Glenn and how he wants the defense to operate. Going to be in a lot of man coverages. Issues with him, he likes to grab, and which could lead to potentially an increase of holding and deep DPI penalties. But I think with his knowledge of the game and him being able to read out plays defensively, I think he'll be a very solid fit for this Lions defense on a unit that desperately needs help in their secondary. Picks we got left. Okay, we got three more. Baltimore, the Niners, and lastly, my Kansas City Chiefs. I think for Baltimore at pick 30, they do go tackle. And I am going to pick, excuse me, um, Tyler Guyton on a team that for Baltimore has some questions with tackle and for potentially aging players moving forward, he could slide there in the near future as well. So you have him on Baltimore. I think he'll be a future starter for them moving forward. And then San Fran could go corner, could go tackle as well. They desperately need interior help. That like outside of Trent Williams, you the tackle, not tackle, but overall the O line was very mediocre as we saw throughout the year. So I'm going to go with the best tackle available, and that's Jordan Morgan. Have him develop with it, a Trent Williams as well. I think that would be a very solid pickup for them. And then lastly, KC with the Rasheed Rice case going right now. He could possibly be suspended to start the year off. How many games I do not know. So some people for their mock draft they want to go tackle in this position, but I think wide receivers is more important for this team. And I'm going to give them Lad McConkey out of Georgia in the first round to wrap this thing up. I love Lad McConkey as a prospect. One of the best route runners in this class, can beat you over the top two as well on a team that desperately needs guys that can separate, that needs guys that can have winning ability on the line, especially in man coverage with Lad McConkey as our future man beater, potentially with a guy like Hollywood Brown taking the top off of defenses and Rasheed Rice potentially coming back as a zone beater from his maybe suspension, who knows? But at the same time, Lad McConkey would be a very good fit for Patrick Mahomes and this offense moving forward. There you have it. Pro full verse round from Lunch and Debates. Glad I could have Danny on here to do this with me once again. I wish it could be much longer, but again, time management, things came up. So hey, hopefully we can have a full mock draft next year. As I love doing this, I love talking about these guys. I love discussing what these teams are gonna do in the future. I just love it. So again, quick scroll down. Every team I got here, official mock draft from Lunch and Debates. Yours truly, love, love, love. If well, we are going to post a like real official reel on all of our platforms moving forward. So hopefully we get enough opinions from y'all. If y'all, well, one from the people that are watching this right now. Hopefully we can get your critiques and opinions from y'all. I love to hear it. When we're not Mel Kiper, when we're not all these major draft analysts, so please forgive us if we piss you off for picking the wrong player on your favorite team. So, but hey, we love doing this. We love as a fan perspective. We love bringing this for y'all. So I love doing this stuff, man. But to wrap it up, if y'all are at the end of this video, thank y'all for watching. Taking time of your day to watch this video. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Excuse me, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, all to handle at Lotion Debates. We post daily content, reels, clips from podcast episodes, highlights, especially with the NBA playoffs just beginning. We're gonna have a whole bunch of highlights from that as the tournament goes on throughout the rest of this month and May as well, and all other good stuff. So it's a great follow and subscribe, and we hope y'all do that moving forward. Also, we are just 2 subscribers away from 800 on TikTok, not TikTok, but on YouTube. So it would be greatly appreciated if y'all could do that as well. And yeah, man, thank y'all for the love and support. And later, man, have a good day. Oh, excuse me. Stuffy nose, man. Allergy season, but we pushed through it. Again, later, y'all, and peace.